day 4 in Group C of these World Cup qualifiers here in the Americas. There's the schedule for this window. Both Venezuela and Chile were on the wrong end of the result on game day 3, and now both teams looking for their first win of this current qualification process. Here's the standings. Brazil, before today's game, had a 3-0 record. Colombia, playing Brazil today, also have yet to lose. So something's got to give there, in the same way that something's got to give here, with one of these two teams getting their first win in the 2027 qualifiers. Well, history favors Venezuela as they're going to be introduced to the crowd here. Good crowd in. They have won 12 of the 13 clashes between the two countries. Chile take home 2024, the one victory over Venezuela, and there are 5 players on both teams that were in that victory that Chile were able to pull off. 86-61 they won in 2024. So there's no doubt they know they can win this and also put themselves in a much better position for qualification. Chile, 68th ranked team, and Venezuela, the 29th ranked team on the FIBA World Rankings. So on ranking points, it's going to be an upset, but Chile in the second half in particular against Colombia really did find a way to be effective in this gym. Felipe Haas was exceptional in that game. At 16 points, really did spark the comeback in the second half. They just ran out of steam and could not get themselves in a position to win the game.
31,
Fabian Martinez also really did put a shift in the loss. So the crowd making the same noise they made on game day 3, really getting behind Chile, and they're going to need every inch of help they can if they're going to get the win. We'll be back to talk about this more after the national anthems of both countries.
Por favor, permanezcamos de pie para la interpretación del himno nacional de Chile.
Well, I know I say it very, very often, but there's nothing like when the crowd sing the national anthem to get those hairs on the back of your neck standing up. Tremendous rendition of the Chilean national anthem, following on from the Venezuelan national anthem. Players, coaches exchange mementos at the halfway line. We're going to get a look at the third team on the floor before we talk about the game a little bit more. The three officials under the crew chief, Johnny Batista from Puerto Rico, Glant Todi from the United States of America, and Cooper Todi from Topping from Canada. Going to get the starting lineup for Venezuela. And Edwin Majares was absolutely on fire in the loss to Brazil. They never led in that game, but he really did give them some huge numbers. 20 points personal. And coach Francisco Segura, incredibly experienced head coach, multiple teams in the ACB in Spain, and then has coached in many other countries in the world. Now in charge of this Venezuelan national team. And the starting lineup for Chile. Well, Varela was very, very good on game day 3. And his partnership with Felipe Haas was one of the major reasons that Chile got really competitive in that second half. Juan Cordoba was frustrated. You could tell he was frustrated. They started so flat on game day 3. It was just it just dug too deep a hole. Couldn't get out of it, and then absorbed their third loss. But this is where their tournament really starts. They lost their first 2 games to Brazil, which are clearly the #1 ranked team in this group. So the game here with Venezuela, and then the 2 games against Venezuela and Colombia, the reverse fixtures, albeit they're going to be on the road on in the third window, are absolutely vital. Well, they keep coming up with different ways to deliver the basketball, and the robotic dog, I suppose you would call it, trundles off the court after presenting the official with the game ball. Well, both teams have run the changes across the roster in these first 2 competition windows. Only 5 guys on the Venezuelan roster played in both their games, and likewise only the 3 players have played in every game for Chile. Chile's issue on game day 3 was really controlling tempo. They gave up a lot of fast break points. They gave up too many points in transition. So controlling tempo is going to be huge for them. Venezuela love to run, even though they were never in the game against Brazil. They still found ways to score. They did close it at one point to a 4-point game just before the half, went on a 9-0 run to close that. But Brazil answered their 9-0 with an 18-0 run to just literally dominate the remainder of the game. So both countries in desperate need of a win if they want to put themselves Not in a position to get to the second round, but these results carry forward into the second round. So you need to get wins going forward to give yourself a chance to make it on the plane to Qatar. Welcome to Chile. The last day of action in this competition window, and Chile in the red uniforms have a first look in the half court, trying to space the floor. Going to go middle pick and roll. Varela looks to move. They get the open three, is short. Felipe Iñaro. That was a long three to settle first possession down. Escanio tries to make the move, dances in the keyway for two. And luck just got too deep. Got to keep him off the block. Varela waits for the ball screen, deep on the shot clock. They ghost it, then sit the screen to the sideline. Spin, jump hook in the lane is no good. And this is a little deja vu for Chile. Started passively game day 3, have started passively game day 4. That's a great take, Cifuentes. Cifuentes gets to the bucket, gets the 2. Chile hit the second side. Little opens in the lane, knocked away. And Coach Cadova must be thinking, does he need the timeout? Well, if Venezuela give them opportunities like that, he probably doesn't need it. Iñaro. And they hit the second side again. Have not gone inside at all so far. Varela with 3 on the clock. Inside, outside. They can't get it away. No problem with the attempts to control tempo, but you've still got to be aggressive. You've still got to run your stuff. Jaris gets it into the half court. Cifuentes, nice pass. Oh, down the lane with the throwdown. And it's all too simple. Centino, with some authority, makes it a 6-0 start. Well, moves it on. Suarez drops it into the high post. Varela wraps it. Suarez catch, release, knocks down the 3. There was better tempo to that set. Sebastian Suarez with his feet set, then have turned it over. Cifuentes, well, Brazil would have known all about Cifuentes. He plays his club basketball in Brazil. 9 points on game day 3. Struggled from the free throw line, only shot 50%. Got to there 10 times, but came up short. No foul on that call. Deep 3 is way off. Deep on the clock, had to let it go. Mijares is fouled in transition. Varela takes one for the team. Tough one in the lane, he's short. And Johanna Cifuentes just couldn't get it to go. Suarez It's a little bit caught up, just about saves it, lobs it to the inside. Three is no good, and it's a little messy, to say the least, for Chile. Oh, the out of control three is no good. Haas with the defensive rebound. Haas has not had a touch of the basketball on the inside early at all. Nice pass, and they blow the layup. They're going to call the foul. That's a great look by Ignacio Varela. And Carrion, one of the players that was in that game where Chile did get the victory over Venezuela, will go to the free throw line. We said on game day 3, you just love the band. The band just plays the whole game. Carrion misses the first of the free throws. So it makes the second. Mijares into the half court. Guerra spins, puts it on the floor, tries to force it up, has to get it out. Mijares with a deep three is no good, and that'll be a violation. Haas had it, but the referees had already blown the whistle. Carry on. Varela will take the stagger. That's a great defensive job. Mijares just wouldn't let him run the action. Suarez is off with the three, hunted down. Varela looks underneath, great pass. Varela starting to distribute, starting to orchestrate at the point, ties it at 6 apiece. Fumbled again, that'll be kicked. Ball will go back to Venezuela as Mijares was looking to create multiple substitutions coming in both ways. Iñárritu will sit, as well Centino for Venezuela. Gonna pick the picker. Wow, gets away with about 3 steps on that square up. Drops inside. Well, no defense at all from Chile. The throw down. That's Carnio. Let's just call it a gather step. Looked like he took an extra one, but Caruso's checked in as well for Chile. And they just can't get an easy look. Ball movement's not quick enough. And Guerra, it was Guerra's turn to try and pull something one-on-one or one-on-two. Great back cut, inside, outside. Suarez is fouled, puts up the shot, but I think they'll call it on the floor. Sebastian Suarez tried. Foul already called. Still in the dribble, should be on the side or the end. Suarez will sit. In fact, they have given shots. Suarez on the free throw line. Suarez is a 66% free throw shooter across his career. Goes 1 for 2. He'll rotate. Martinez has checked in for Chile. Got a 1-point game. That's an offensive foul. Completely out of control. And Wendy Guerrero, one of the legends of Venezuelan basketball, 39 now. Doesn't get the first stat he'd really want to. Chile into the half court. This has all the markings of a real close one. Offensive foul the other way. Martinez will be charged with the personal. It was easier to see the standing still screen as opposed to pick the moving screen. Everybody moved. Great hands. That's a super job. Caruso goes up off the glass. Is fouled. Will have to earn them from the free throw line. And he's instant energy. Sebastian Caruso plays in Argentina at the Lima organization. He just comes in and gives you energy. Cisneros will pick up the personal. And the band plays on. Well, everybody's in the lane. They're going to have to shoot it again. In fact, they're going to call it the other way. The lane violation was on the offensive end. So Chile show a little up the floor pressure. Edison Tovar gets it into the half court. Shows a bit of handle, gets in the lane, big step. And gets bowed out a little. Poor decision to foul. Tovar will go to the free throw line. Another successful performance for him against Brazil. 11 points. Went 3 from 4 from the three-point line. Tovar's a 70% free throw shooter. And goes 2 for 2. Both coaches rotate early. Tovar gets his first 2 points of the game. Venezuela with the 3-point advantage. Jones puts it on the floor. Looks to be aggressive. Far side of the ring. Puts up the tough one. Gets the soft roll. Love the definite decision to get to the ring. Guerra needs a pass, gets it back. Again, attacks off the dribble, big Euro step, doesn't get it to drop. But hunts down the rebound, he comes back with it. Tovar backs out a little, looks at his options. Gets a little separation for the 2, is no good. And Jones comes down with a defensive rebound. Great hands will stay with Chile with 6 seconds on the possession. That's a great cut. Caruso for the three, rims in and out. Venezuela a chance in transition, and they run the floor hard. Tovar wraps the pass. One-on-one in the block. They tried to move the chair out the way. They've hunted it down and will get the basketball on the sideline with 7 to go. When Mayor just works so hard to recover the basketball. Venezuela will have it in the corner. Soft inbound again. Guerra spins, weaves, deals, and makes the 2. Caruso. Inside option. No help, going one-on-one on the baseline. Help comes. Got to finish the play. Martinez made the good decision. Got to finish the play. When Mayor moves it on. Guerra in the lane, kicks, extra pass, wide open. Tovar doesn't get the 3 to drop. That'll be a Venezuela basketball. Inyalo checks back in for Chile. Tovar to the middle, spins back. Tries to get it off the window. They retain possession again. Chile couldn't clean up the mess on the glass. Tovar will inbound. And Saldo will check out. 5 offensive rebounds already for Venezuela. Last minute of the first quarter. And they're still going to have it in the half court. 4 seconds on the possession. Martinez could not hang on. Deep 3 at the bottom of the clock is no good. Mess cleared up by Chile as a team. Caruso gets it into the half court. Gets the handoff. And they still create not a lot out of that half court set. Caruso tries to break it down. Spins in the lane for 2. And that will do it for the end of the first quarter. Well, across this World Cup window, you've seen more high-scoring games than 11-12. But the intensity and the pressure of the situation is clear for everybody to see. Chile with 50 and 17, only had taken the 12 shots, 3 extra shots for Venezuela, but 0 and 4 from the 3. Let's take a look at the best plays in that first quarter. Well, both teams had a lot of joy when they got to the ring. Chifontes was a handful early on in the game, both distributing the basketball and getting to the ring. And Venezuela started much the better. There's the first points for Chile. Sebastian Suarez got going from the three-point line. But then a little bit deja vu for Chile. They started slowly on game day 3, but this time they were going much quicker. Got right back in the game early in the first quarter, and we've got a 1-point game. at the end of the first. And Carrasco, who you saw on the last play, really did give some energy off the bench. There's the courtside 1891 QR code. Download the app or sign on to the website. You can see live streams, extended highlights, live scores. In fact, anything around FIBA basketball available on courtside. And one thing's for sure, you have seen and will continue to be able to see some great games across this World Cup qualifying window. So Venezuela will have the first look at it in the second quarter. Tovar will advance the basketball. Johannes Cefontes back in the game. Deep catch. Attack that long closeout and share the basketball. Tovar in the lane with a floater. Doesn't get it to drop. That's a rebound. That's a great work on the glass. Carneo just went to work. Comes down with the offensive rebound and powers back up. Centeno is really making a name for himself on this team, doing all the blue-collar work. Great. Again, hands in the lane. Centeno's eked out. 2-on-1 break. He was fouled. He'll go to the free throw line. That's how to get down the floor. Share the ball. Reward the big man for running the floor. And going to the free throw line. Elian Centino, as Fabián Martinez will sit down. That's what you got to like about Venezuela. When they run, they all run. You've got a lot of foot speed down the floor. Like to see them push it a little bit more. Two. Centino goes to 6 points personal. Carlos Loya puts it on the floor. The middle opens, kicks the extra pass. Open three from the corner is short. Loya's going to be charged with the foul as he came over the back. Carlos Loya, keep doing it. Keep going to the glass. Trying to make things happen on the offensive end. Picks up his first personal. And Venezuela just so sloppy out of bounds. Turn it straight back over. Down the lane. Caruso looks longingly at the referee, gets no response at all. Venezuela in transition, and again, 5 guys down the floor. Wide open three in the corner is good. That's super ball movement. Edwin Maharis with the three. But that's about transition. That's about running the floor. That's about getting a numerical advantage. Timeout, Chile. Coach Cordova will have to try and correct. One, they've got to actually be much better offensively in terms of their tempo and their execution. Two, they've got to get back. Let's take a listen.
El 2 y el 4 cruzado. ¿Cuál? 2 y 4 cruzado. Si no sale, cuerno. Si no sale, hago el pico, pipe.
Well, I'll get a replay of the last three that generated the timeout. But the thing that's a frustration if you're a fan of Chile is that Felipe Haas, top scorer from game day 3, 16 points. We're literally 12 minutes into the game. That's only his second shot. Then he goes looking for it and takes bad ones. Maharis looks inside, needs a pass. Throws it deep to the block. Inside, outside the open 3 on the ball reversal. Great rebound. That is a super rebound. Put back. Not so good. Centino is getting it done on the glass. Recovered. Step back for the 3 is no good. And Venezuela clean up the mess on the glass. Game's getting very, very spread. Foul in the block. And Iliaro takes one for the team. Sebastian Suarez checks back in. Here's some Ilian Centino highlight. Again, he's all over the glass. That's a rebound. Centino dives deep. They turn him down. They go into him now, though. And one. Well, if there's a player that's taken this game by the scruff of the neck, it's this guy. Ilian Centino finishes well again. Chance to give himself 9 points with the extra from the free throw line. Venezuela an 11-point lead, and Chile have dried up at the start of this second quarter. Varela. Suarez doesn't get it to go. Defensive rebound pulled in. Chance to go the other way. Edwin Maharis looks to turn the corner. They lift wide open off the straight lift. Is good. Angelos Cineros with the 3. He was on that team that lost to Chile in 2024. He's not looking to repeat that. Stroke the 3 from deep. Chile take their second time out and trail 14, and they are struggling to tick this scoreboard over.
Corregir solo rebote defensivo, el bloqueo defensivo.
Pointless in the first over 3 minutes of this second quarter.
Todo el mundo se concentra en el bloqueo defensivo.
En el segundo cuarto, 11-25, el aplauso grande para nuestra selección, aplauso grande para Chile, ¡vamos!
.48 remains in the half. Chile absolutely need to get a good shot this time down the floor. Obviously, they're going to want to make a good shot, but they really do need to get a shot that Coach Cordoba wants them to get. Pass on the pick and pop. Reverses the basketball. Wide open three in the corner is good. Patient reversal of the basketball. And Carrion gets the three. Desperately needed that. Maharis want to get it back. All five Venezuelans spreading the floor outside the three-point line. Turnover. Off the glass for two. Suarez gets the two. He's the recipient of the defensive effort. And Chile get it back to a single-digit game.
Tranquilo, pero no nos paramos, no hemos parado. Si te aprietas mucho y quedan pocos segundos, juega ok. Ok. Tiradores en la esquina. Tirador en la esquina. Tú te pones con cifras en el high-low y ellos dos en la esquina. ¿Vale? Un ok. ¡Dale, hombre! ¡Ey! ¡Cuatro bajo! ¡Cruce! ¡En cruce!
So Chile with a little bit of momentum. Score back to a single-digit margin, but they are already in the penalty. Still pretty much 6 minutes remaining in the first half. Maharis skips it for the open three, way short. So short that it just fell into the hands of Matolan. The mess cleaned up, and Chile have another opportunity to keep eating into this lead. Yaro, 5 on the possession, looks to try and create, got a whistle on the play and the block. Dribble again, 5 on the possession. And Iaro goes long with the three. Defensive rebound belongs to Matalan. Again, the middle opens up down the lane for the easy two. And Matalan, well, he's probably shocked himself. No one wanted to help. No one stepped into the lane. Venezuela back out to 11. Varela moves it on. Catch, release is long with the three, and they're just living out there. Rotation, Varela read it, looks to push. And I think the crowd are absolutely right. It's always the beef that players will have, and that they look like there was a foul and the official thought they're in transition, will let it go, and they turn it over. Turned it over again. Great work. Great work defensively by Venezuela. Breaks it up, comes up with a steal down the floor. Now they slow it down. Have a look at the options. Edson Travar in the game. He has it. Looks to attack that seam. Gets to the ring. Far side. Tries to put a bit of English on it. So I think they must have assumed that Chile had control of the basketball. It's out to a 15-point game. 3 minutes still remaining in the first. Chile timed out. They have no timeouts at all. Coach has got to try and help from the sideline, but he can't get his guys in. Keep it alive on the glass. Suarez hunts it down. Inyaro draws the contact. Matalan picks up the personal. Fontes will sit with 2:42 to go in the first half, as will Angelos Chineros. Nice curl. Got away with a slip on the floor. They're going to call the personal. Sebastian Suarez still on the free throw line. Made the first. Opportunity to reduce this margin to 13, but doesn't. 7 points personal for Suarez. Tovar. That's when turns down the screen, goes left and kicks. They turn down the extra pass now, but by the time they got there, the defense had closed out, but they cannot stop it dropping. Guerra with time. 17-point margin, dangerous for Chile. They simply have to get the scoreboard ticking over. Haas, no better way to get Haas involved. A tough three off the dribble is not the answer. 34-17, Venezuela dominant at the moment. Just rampant right now. Haas desperately looking and finds his first points. Well, it took a desperate situation for him to start seeing the basketball on game day 3. Sees it that time okay, knocks down the 3. Defensive rebound pulled in. Move it on again. Inyaro. Pass in the block is fouled. He tried to step through. That'll be on the floor. Pass back on the free throw line. All he needs to do is see the ball go through the ring. He's already seen the 3 drop. Now the 3 throws are going. He'll start to feel it. It'll become a factor again. Led all scorers for Chile on game day 3 with 16. Has only just started to see the basketball now. 2 for 2 from the line. And he will rotate out with 48 seconds remaining in this first half. Tovar moves it into the half court. Guerra needs a pass, gets it back. Gets the middle pick and roll. And that's going to be a blocking foul, and he'll go to the free throw line. First is good for Guerra. 22 points in a half is not going to get it done for Chile. Carrasco into the half court. Turn down the ball string, go into the lane. Three is good. It's a very friendly roll for Fabian Martinez. And they desperately needed that. Let's take a listen to this Venezuelan timeout. It's only 14.8 seconds. They'll want to take the last shot of this first half. Let's take a listen.
A meter un pase, pase, pase. Smith, pase, pase. Se la da, se gana, se la tira, se la irá ahí. Vale, si cambia, si cambia.
Important for Chile to get some momentum here. Getting a stop. It's not quite as good as getting the points, but getting a stop here, going in 13 down as opposed to 15 or 16, means they get into the locker room. The last thing they did was positive. They've got somewhere to look and hang their hat on, so to speak, for the second half. Really need to stop right now. Maharis into the half court, 5 on the half. He moves it on. Guerra has to put up the 3, gets it to go. They're going to probably check it, but it looked good to me. There's the pass. Ooh, close. I think they have to check it. Guerra believes he got it away. I'm not so sure. We'll know from this picture, though. Ooh, just gets it away. Finds the bottom of the net. A 16-point margin. And they'll sprint to the locker room feeling very good about themselves. Well, I'll get the confirmation. Here is the halftime score, 41-25, 16-point margin. Chile in a hole that just got a lot deeper on the back of that last 3. Chile shooting 44 and 25 against 52 and 33. And when you look at the stats before the game, Venezuela just had the edge in every department. 27 rebounds to 10. Now, a lot of that is down to the fact that Chile's shooting percentages are poor, so there's a lot of defensive rebounds to collect. But Guerra has 12, Centino has 9, and Ascanio has 6. really did get some real contributions out of that front line on the glass. And you just got to love the way this guard rotation works for Venezuela. Going to have a look at the best plays in that second quarter. I think the referees are just checking whether or not the 3 points were good. And I think we'd already established that we thought it was. So the officials will make the call. And then the officials will be able to get to the locker room. Let's have a look at the best plays in the second quarter. And there's a lot of this guy. Tino just went to work around the ring. And then as they spread the floor so effectively, Venezuela, they have sets on the floor of all 5 guys are outside the 3-point line trying to stretch the defense. So I wouldn't say it's a dominant performance, but it's a very good one. And they are well worth the 16-point lead. Well, Suarez tried for all he could to try and spark the offensive end for Chile, but they were just too inconsistent, never really got to the point where they were turning the defense, so they created long closeouts. And they ended up settling. Well, just settling for jump shots. The story, apart from Santino on the glass, is Tovar, Maharis, and Guerra. Add Cifuentes to that, and there's a 4-guard rotation that keeps everything on track for Venezuela. So we'll take a break and we'll see you for the second half. Can Chile get back? Join us to find out.
Let's get this party started. Oh my goodness sakes, that's a throwdown. Goes in for the dunk. Good night. Too big, too strong, and just too good.
Bogdanovic, who goes in and scores. Ah!
This is what it's all about.
It's all one big basketball family, folks.
Winning time.
Both teams over the limit. You have got to be kidding me! Jorginho. Yeah, this is going up. Steps back for 3. He's got it. And that just adds insult right there. Takes the lead up to 15 points at halftime.
Ortiz back into the ball game, and that's much better. Romero rocking the rims in San Juan.
Free, eventually find Miller. He got a pretty good look, and Miller makes it. Incredible shot for Franco Miller. Will that seal the game? It's a 6-point lead now.
Oh, Jones just leaked out. Oh, that one. Atencia with the 2, just stayed with the play.
Now he's going to get some space. Odij all the way, glides in and then slams it home. Oh, what hasn't this man done? Been everywhere, both ends of the floor. Odij just showed the offensive package today.
three-point shot back iron for Campbell. And now a chance for the out-and-out largest lead off the back of that miss. That's what it can cost you.
So no free throws for Mendel, but they get it inside and going in for the rim rocker.
Just uses his pace. Atencia has it. Now they've got to make a decision. Great pass. Oh, Enrique puts an exclamation mark on the game. Throws it down.
Only lead by 4 now, and here comes a steal from Mejia. He came in from the blind side. Now they give it back. Now they get the flush. Good ball movement there. And the punch by Soriano. Solano will tell everyone, let's slow it down. The United States was able to get back there on defense. Swatted again by Wiseman, his third block of the game. Roddy the other way, lobs it up. Wiseman the alley-oop finish. A 1-2 punch by the United States.
How many times are we going to see this? Baseline, are you kidding me?
Papa Nicolau says, give it to me.
Go attacks the closeout, feed Bruno inside.
Fills it up. It's all right.
Well, welcome back to Chile. We're still at the half as we get a look at the top scorers in that first half. Ilian Centino with 9 personal. Aggressive around the ring. Great control to go with athleticism. Throws that one down. He is that guy that does all that blue collar work around the ring. Finishes plays, makes his free throws, and gives his team some real inside presence. And will always, always go to the glass. It's one of the things that, in particular in this game, Chile does not have a matchup for it. Similar problems to their loss against Colombia, where they really struggled to deal with athleticism on the inside. They're struggling to deal with him. Going the other way, the home country. Sebastian Suarez opened the scoring for them from the three-point line when they really were struggling to find anything. As a really nice catch and release. The trouble that he has is that Chile just do not move the ball sharp enough to give him the separation and the space where he can be effective. But if they're going to get back in to this game, they've got to find more looks for Suarez. They don't have to close this 15-point margin in one go, but they have to win the third quarter. Even winning it by 1 will be enough to get them on the right track. Well, Guerra is down as the game lead, and he is. 12 points personal, Cifuentes with 2 assists. Tino with 4 rebounds to go of his 9 points. 9 points, 4 rebounds, 2 of those offensive. He's one of those rebounders that works early and keeps working, keeps it alive, gets after it the second time. His second efforts often get him the reward of the rebound. Well, Suarez with 7, Varela with 4 assists. Varela has tried to organize this Chilean offense, has tried to move the ball. It's a little bit static, which slows the ball movement down. Just got to find a way to win the third quarter. Win the third quarter. Ideally, you might get it back to single digits of a lead, get it to 9, but win the third quarter. So you've got the positive momentum going into the fourth. Haas needs to see the basketball so much more in positions where he does not have to make moves, just catch it, score, whether it's from the perimeter or whether he's on the inside. He needs more service from the backcourt. Sebastian Suarez, one of the last guys out of the locker room. This will be 2 really decent performances by Suarez back to back. So that's Animas, player, 34 now. Did spend some time in the NCAA. He's much traveled. The 194 forward, a little undersized, but really does get the job done. Outworks his opponent consistently. Well, whether it's Iniaro, Carrasco alongside Varela, Martinez and Carrion were all on the Chilean team that beat Venezuela in the only time that Chile has beaten Venezuela. Got to look for some inspiration from somewhere. 16-point margin is a mountain to climb. If you've only scored 25 points in a half, you are in a... mentally, you're not sure if you've got the firepower to get back. If they keep Venezuela in the 70s, they've still got to go and score 50 points in this half. The maths is not the thing you need to focus on because it makes your life look too impossible. Win the third quarter, see where you are. That's got to be the focus for Chile. Win the third quarter, see where you are, see what options you have. Are you competitive in the game? If you're down at 9, you're more than competitive. Venezuela, as this half goes on, have looked better and better. So it's a daunting prospect for Chile, but this is national team basketball. They've done it before. Can they do it again? Our players returning to the benches ahead of the second half. Venezuela in a commanding position. But that's what makes this game such a spectacle at times. Chile at home, more than capable of coming back.
Así pues, van mano a mano. Van mano a mano.
Vas a poner acá de espalda para que él se meta. Y Carrión vas a barrer. O abrís o caes para atacar esta situación. En la esquina. En la esquina. ¿Se entiende? Arriba, arriba la ofensiva, arriba.
Well, you just saw the World Cup qualifier app. If you want any information about these World Cup qualifiers, download the World Cup app from your normal source and stay in touch with updates, stats, etc. on that app. Be mobile, be always up to date. Well, that's what Chile have to be in this second half. They have to be mobile and they have to be up to date with what's going on. They trail by 16. Got to try and win the third quarter. They have the possession at the start of the third. Varela gets his team into the half court. It's still static. Still static. Inyaro has a look at his options. 7 on the possession. The ball has not gone below the foul line. First time it does. They take a tough turnaround. It's good. Well, we said that this guy needed the basketball. And he starts off with a touch and he starts off with a score. Felipe Haas. Mara Centino, Cassiel, Cifontes, and Maturin will start the second half for Venezuela. Toscanio is adamant that they should challenge the call. But they've corrected it anyway. Great ball movement. The open three is sweet. Ascanio with his feet set, just stroked it. He goes to 9 personal. Got a whistle on the play. Varela comes off the ball screen, looks to play. Pick, pop, the open three. Haas has gone back to back. First 5 points in the third quarter for Felipe Haas. It's Haas time for Chile. And Harris just dances over the halfway line. That's the travel. Jose Ascanio just picked up the pivot foot after doing this. To which Felipe Haas said, I'm live now, I'm feeling it. Needs to see the basketball. Yaro, Suarez, Haas, Varela, and Carrion on the floor for Chile. And they've turned it over. Easy 2 on the runway. Haas again for the 3. That's 3 on the bounce. 2 threes and a 2 for Felipe Haas. Give him the basketball. 13 points personal. Harris is off. They're going to hunt down that. Ascanio comes down with the offensive rebound, moves it on. Cifontes, long 3 is no good. Great work on the glass. That is how to outwork your opponent. Super job by Maharis. Just would not quit on the play. With all the hard work Chile are doing, being undone by just not finishing plays. Great pass. Needs one to the corner. Open three. Simply has to go and does. Suarez with the three. Back to a 12-point game. 10 points personal for Sebastian Suarez. Gonna call a reach. There's the step back, way off, but look at this. That's how to work. They're asking for the 24 violation, which, when you see the replay, maybe they have a case. Cifuentes makes the first of the three throws. And 2 for 2 from the line. And Chile have played pretty well in the first few minutes of this third quarter, but they've just given up easy looks and free throws to Venezuela. The arrow just about hunted down the ball. Chile on the sideline. Haas is the release. That's a reaching foul. Esconio just that far from the ring. You don't need to do anything. Off the sideline ball screen, looks inside. Haas can't hold his space. 3-on-1 break, just got to share it. And outwork your opponent again. Tino just followed the play, gets the two, all because he outworked his opponent. And it's out to a 16-point game again. Can't complete the and one, so they're going to have to earn it from the free throw line. Carry on the free throw line. Have to keep it ticking over. Then you've got to get stops. Then you're back. You can get back in the game. Carry on with the first. Makes a second. 6 to go in the third. And Chile doing much better, being competitive in the game, but they're still down 14. The step back from the three-point line is sweet. Cifuentes just got enough separation to sit back on the step back three. Ball will stay with Chile. Drops it inside. Haas going to work. Gets a little physical out of the block. Can't get the two off the glass to go. And then reaches. And Cifuentes draws the foul. And this is where you have to question Chile. 8 points in a row. for Haas, and until he had that tough one in the block, he has not seen the basketball again. Great work on the glass. Chile a chance to run. Simply have to get the scoreboard ticking over. The extra pass, wide open. Caruso for three is good. Now they need to stop. Now they've got to build some momentum. Super ball movement to the open three. 5 points personal for Carrasco. Maharis. And they turn it over. There's the stop. 4 from 4 from beyond the three-point line. Defense opens out. Great pass. Pass was good enough, but the hands carry on. Gets him to the ring. Will go to the free throw line with a chance to make this a 12-point game. Got to maintain this. They've got to win the third quarter. First is off. Gets a second to go. They haven't been as close as 13 for a long time. Just over 4 to go in the third. They're on the right side of the equation at the moment in the third quarter. Tovar moves it on. Oh, great second move. So decisive, so quick. Tino gets a 2. Inside, outside, ball's deflected, 5 on the possession. Carrasco is off with a 3, great work on the glass. They line up. Passed, can't get it to drop. They've almost missed that momentum that he had. Edison Tovar handles, finds a little space, will kick it out. Again, rebounding outside your own space. Just a super job. Centino just doesn't know when to stop working on the glass. Again, that same pick-to-picker action. They're going to go lob. Centino is held. That'll be the 3rd team foul on Chile. Better job defensively again by Chile. Guerra attacks it, gets to the ring for 2. Back out to 16. Tough move. Santino sits down, going the other way, the rapid inside out. And Lawyer doesn't obviously consider himself a shooter. Dances to the far side of the ring, will have to pick himself up off the floor and go to the free throw line. Lawyer is having to work hard for everything he gets out there. Carry on will sit. Makes the second. Just gets them slightly into credit. Still 2.5 minutes remain in the third. Tovar will take some time just hanging with the basketball. But he turns it over. 3-on-1 break. Just find the open man. Settle for the three. Doesn't drop. Pulls the trigger. Tovar can't get it to drop. Pass with a defensive rebound. They just need a run. Last 2 minutes of the third quarter will do. Just get it to 10. That would be more than good enough for Chile to be in the game. Step back is no good. Meanwhile, all Venezuela have to do is do what they've been doing for the whole game. Execute, look to attack when the opportunity's there, and when your feet's set, just bury the three. Greater rolled back the years, gets his feet set, the 39-year-old, and just buries it. Open for three, simply has to go. They've had three wide open looks the last 3 possessions, haven't managed to convert any. Great rotation. Super job defensively. Carrasco gives it up. And they finally get rewarded for the defense. Scoreline wasn't correct. We'll just give you the right scoreline in a second. Venezuela timeout. Let's take a listen to coach.
A ver, tú vas por Ángelo, corta de la esquina. Hay que ejecutar, hay que seguir las normas. Hay que seguir las normas. Hemos dicho, flash, taco va primero y Carrión va después. Como juega en Wiz. Lateral está como fue el mayor. Salimos, Lano. Si no pueden recibir.
So back after the timeout. (62-46). I think we've got everything correct scoring-wise. We're as you were at the half, 16-point margin. Last minute of the third quarter. A stop would be so important here for Chile. Cifuentes handles, steps back for the three, is way off. Plenty of time here for Chile. There's about a 2-second differential between game and possession. They've got to use every tick of that possession. Jones moves it on. Inside touch. Go with a jump hook. Is short. And that gives Venezuela a chance to get down the floor for two. Just a mental mistake again by Chile. Guerrero gets the two. They've lost the quarter by 2. They got it back to 12 at one point. But they take a poor-looking jump hook with plenty of time on the shot clock and give up a layup. Poor end to the third quarter for Chile. There's the confirmation. Certain synergy to the scoreboard. 46-64. Venezuela have the 18-point advantage. Stats-wise, not a pretty night. 55% from the 2-point range for Venezuela. They have control of the stats on every line. Let's take a look at the best plays of the third quarter. And Chile had their best period at the start of the third. Haas was exceptional at the first 8 points for Chile in the third quarter, but then that guard combination got back going for Venezuela. Cifuentes, Tovar, Maharis and Guerrero, whoever was on the floor, they just were relentless in their pressure. And they shot the ball as well as they've shot the ball in the whole game. Suarez joined in from the 3-point line. Windy Gatorol joined the party with the 3. So that just gives Chile a mountain to climb. There's the courtside 1891 QR code. Download that, or scan that, download the app, or sign on online for all the live streams, highlights, everything there is in FIBA basketball. Venezuela have the basketball and the 18-point lead, looking for their first win in this World Cup qualifying campaign. Drops it inside. Great defense by Haas. Took away the space to play. Inyaro will want to get it back. They don't get it to him. Now he does. 8 seconds on the possession. Inyaro looks to break it down. Get a little separation on the foul line. Puts up a tough one. And he's bowed out. Poor defense by Venezuela. Had him with nowhere to go. Couldn't make the tough one. Ascanio is charged with the third foul. And then Inyaro on the free throw line. Simply has to score. And they need to get a stop. And then score again, and then get a stop, and try and build some momentum. One for 2 from the line. It's not going to get it done. Venezuela again in transition. Maharis and Cifuentes doesn't get the three to go. Defensive rebound pulled in. Numbers down the floor, but they recycle. Opens down, wide open three off the penetration. It's good. Suarez again with his feet set. Back to a 14-point game. Another stop, another score. Just got to look at possession by possession. Guerra hands it. Wow, the floater from the shoulder. Little trademark. There's Windy Gatorol's in town. Off the glass for two. And the team that couldn't score, in particular couldn't score in that second quarter, is now scoring for fun. That should be their ball. Yeah, it should be Chile's ball because it came off the knee. There you go. Guerra's not happy about it, believes it was a foul, but Varela moves it on. He really has slipped to the two spot at the start of this fourth quarter. Three is short, pulled in. And the rebound, oh, great look. That's a super look. Chile went to sleep defensively. Cifuentes gets the two. 12 fast break points. And if they're fast break points like that, it's going to really hurt you. Pass. Automatic. Maharis moves it on. Lines up the three and it's no good. Chance to go the other way. Chance to make this a 10-point game if they make the three. Varela does make the three. We've got a 10-point game. Timeout for Venezuela. Coach Segura is not want to get this, see this get out of hand. Back to a 10-point game. He takes the timeout. Still an eternity left in the game. Well, there's the fourth quarter breakdown. Only one team at the races statistically in the fourth quarter. Is there enough time? Is it too late? Well, Chile won't be believing that right now. They're on a roll, down to a 10-point game. A stop here and a score gets them to single digits, and then they'll believe anything's possible. Well, Varela's going to be so important if they're going to mount a comeback. As is that man, number 22, Felipe Haas. So Chile with a little bit of soft pressure up the floor. Guerra skips it. Spending time with the basketball. Nowhere to go. 4 seconds on the possession. Will be on the baseline. Can't get it away quick enough. Great work on the glass. When you need a play, when you need one of your lineup to outwork their opponent, it is always Ilian Centeno. Just went to work on the glass, would not get boxed out. Watch this. It's a little bit dance partners, but he just outworks 15-3 in terms of offensive rebounds. They're going to call the travel. Oh, nice cut. Should be an easy two. Is an easy two. We've got a single-digit game. Hang on to your hats here. Chile. They came back hard on game day 3, ran out of time and energy. It's not as big a lead right now. Stolen again. Varela looks to turn the corner. Moves it on, open for free. Suarez knocks it down. 5-point game. 5,000 people beginning to believe here. Turnover. Simply have to blow the layup. They're going to call it basket interference. Suarez with the 3 and then the 2. Another turnover. They have to take the timeout here, Venezuela. The wheels are coming off the wagon. They call it basket interference because they called the net. It's 68-65, 17-4 in this quarter. Caption will catch up in a moment. Got a blocking foul on the play. Varela will be charged with the personal. I do believe it's 68-65. Cervantes tries to create, takes a tough one off the glass, gets his own rebound. Would you believe it? Just got a box out. Guerra in the lane, puts the tough floater up, doesn't get it to drop. Defensive rebound pulled in. Chance to tie it on this possession. Just saying to you again, it's a 17-4 quarter at the moment. Where was Jones going with the penetration? Puts his head up and says, why did I do that? Got a whistle on the play. That'll be the 3rd team foul for Chile in the 4th. Home crowd going crazy here. .425 on the clock. One of these teams is going to get their first win of the qualifiers. The other one is going to be in a very deep hole for qualification. Open for 3 out of bounds, is off. Defensive rebound finds its way into Varela's hands. He gives it up. Caruso to Carrera. They've gone with the 2 guards in the backcourt. Haas on the pick and pop. He's open, he puts it up. Doesn't get it to drop. Good call, good option. Cervantes looks to manufacture one, is fouled. He'll go to the free throw line. Don't need a technical foul if you're Chile right now. Take the foul, get the next play, That's a foul. They've done too good a job getting back in the game to give it up with technical fouls here. Suarez picks up his second personal. Chifontes. Yomar Chifontes misses the first, makes the second. Edges it out to a 4-point lead. 12 points personal. Carrasco draws the contact. Carrasco. Got to execute. Can't just spend some time with it. You've got to be aggressive with it. Pass, flips it off. With the three is no good. Super rebound. Centino just took care of business on the defensive glass. Guerra. It's a little bit one-on-one based at the moment for Venezuela. Guerra gets it back. Needs a pass. No time on the possession. Puts up a prayer that's not answered. Chance to run the other way. Carrasco stops, pops, and doesn't knock the three down. Crowd living every moment of it here. Venezuela could take some air out of the ball here. Spend some time with it. Guerra takes the ball screen, feels a little contact, and kicks, turns it over. That's going to go that way. Suarez, body on the line time. I'm not sure there is a timeout here. The officials seem to be calling people back on the floor. Or are they going to check that possession call that they've just made? Chile in the penalty. Venezuela still have 2 fouls to give. 2:40 left in the game. Well, we've had some great games across these qualifiers, and we're actually finishing on even more close ones. Referees are checking the sideline possession. I don't think it touches red. Let's take a look. Comes off Guerra. He touches it. Does Suarez touch it? I'm not sure. Maybe he does. Can't really see. Well, they're happy to make the decision. Venezuela challenge. Original decision. And it will go to Chile. This is where Coach Cordoba should have been talking about execution, talking about really the finer points, getting what they want at the offensive end. 4 from 8 from the three-point line and 0 for 4 from Venezuela. Pressure's a crazy thing. Both coaches should really get down to these are our rules defensively. This is what we're trying to emphasize. This is where we don't want the ball to go. And offensively, execute whatever we've decided to call. Make decisions out of it, yeah, but do not try and win the game on your own here. Execute. Chile with the basketball. 2:40 in the fourth remaining. Down 4. Haas has to be a primary option here. Carrasco gets it off to Varela. Goes inside. Haas has it. Inside, outside, feels it. Extra pass. Wide open. Suarez for 3. Count it! Best offensive run all night for Chile. 21 personal for Sebastian Suarez. Career night time for him. Cifuentes needs a pass, finds a pass. They line up a 3. Oh, they fouled the 3-point shot. As Canio will peel himself off the floor. Let's take a look. Yep, took away space to land. He went up. There was nowhere to land when he came down. Haas, great decision. Inside, outside, the extra pass. And Suarez, the one Chilean player who has scored all night. That's a great decision. Canio on the free throw line. Misses the first. Called a lane violation. Love it when officials are consistent. They called it earlier in the game. Escanio with 10 personal. Went 1 for 3 from the line. Chile looking to lead on this possession for the first time in the game, or tie it. Varela needs a pass. Haas has it in the block. Give him space to play. Do not crowd the middle. Trying to feed it to the perimeter. Great read defensively. Super decision by Cifuentes. For the 3 is off. It's a battle on the glass. Hauled in. Carrasco gives it up. Chance to run, opens up for him, goes to the ring, needs a pass. Went for the crazy little English off the backboard. Decisions. The game is going to come down to just inches on decisions. Inside, outside. Whistle on the play. They're going to call it offensive. Suarez is like a stat magnet at the moment. Everything in the game is going through him. Let's take a look. He steps in. He's there. Contact. Charge called. Timeout. Chile, they need to get a shot they want. And they have to space the floor. What a World Cup window. Chile trying to get their first win. Venezuela, who are a game behind everybody, also need their first win. In the 13 times these two teams have played, Chile have only won once, albeit 18 months ago. Now they've got an opportunity on this possession to lead it or tie it. And there's an eternity left in the game. where would you go? Would you go to Sebastian Suarez? Would you get Haas the basketball, or would you ask Varela to score? They have scoring potential on the floor, and defensively, did Venezuela just play this straight up? Does Coach Segura have a different option to go to? A different look, if he's confident with that, would absolutely or potentially throw Chile. Well, they're going to advance the basketball, which extends the time in the last minute. 14 seconds from the sideline. Carrasco will inbound. Varela gets it back to him. Suarez will swing the baseline. They get it to him, thinks about it, puts it on the floor, goes to the ring, doesn't get it to go. Blows the layup. Chile have no fouls to give. They've got to get a stop. It's about a 16-second differential between game and shot clock. Sorrentes is offensive foul called. Maharis is called for the illegal screen. And Chile have yet another opportunity to lead or tie the score. Got to say, good call again by the official. They get much maligned on too many occasions. But they've made some big calls in this last minute. Timeout Chile, their final timeout. Well, for what it's worth, for me, Haas has to get a touch of the basketball and let him decide. If he's got an option, let him take it. If he wants to kick it to the perimeter, he would have collapsed the defense onto him before he kicks it. Coach Segura is going to have to call on them multiple years in some of the best leagues across the world to try and get Venezuela over the line. Here we go then. 21.7 seconds. Don't you love this game? Well, they're going to take it full court, which means they will get the last shot. There's party that says you want to leave it late, you want to run as much of the clock down, but you can't leave yourself with no time. Give yourself enough time to get after the offensive rebound. Varela. Where do they go? Haas waiting for the screen. Here comes Haas. Picks, pops. Varela for the game. Doesn't get it to drop. And why wouldn't it be? Centeno with the defensive rebound. Centeno just cleans up the mess on the glass. And Chile had multiple options to tie or win the game. Varela with the three. Off left. Couldn't get it to go. Centeno with a defensive rebound that had his name on it the moment it hit the ring. Carrasco gets a little blow to the face. There's still 3.1 seconds here. Let's not write this game off. Simply make the first to take some pressure off. If he misses the first, the pressure is back on. Ascanio makes the first. And this to ice the game. is to break the hearts of the home crowd, which he does. Varela puts up the prayer, and Venezuela hang on and get their first win of the qualifying series, 72-68. Well, we said if Chile could keep them in the 70s, they had a shot at it. They had multiple shots at it. But Venezuela survived. Best way to describe it. Chile deflated, but a hell of a performance. Venezuelan fans celebrate. Here's the numbers. Only 72 and 68 really matter. Venezuela shot 29% from the three-point line. It almost cost them the game. But they had 48 rebounds to 23. They really did go to work on the glass. Suarez with 21 points and a half of 16 almost got Chile over the line. That guard combination for Venezuela is a handful for anybody. Great way to finish the action here in Chile, with Venezuela getting their first win, setting themselves up for the third window to make sure they are in the second round. Just an absolute classic of an America's game. Let's have a look at the best plays of the fourth quarter. And the start of the fourth quarter was all about Chile hitting threes. Suarez really got going. He made huge threes in the quarter. Windy Gatorol got his points. A couple of mental lapses, but once they started moving the ball, and Haas found that range again. At the early part of that fourth quarter, it literally was like throwing it in the ocean for Chile. Everything they put up dropped. And Sebastian Suarez, well, he started the game for them. Guy who was consistently a threat throughout, almost got him over the line. They couldn't get him the ball in the last minute, and they went elsewhere for it. But they came up short, Chile. Great win for Venezuela. They get their first win of the qualifiers. Going to get a look at the standings in a moment. Still all to play for, apart from Brazil being clear at the top of this group. But a tremendous night here. Great atmosphere, super crowd. They've had two great games over this competition window. Well, that's the graphic for the rankings. What we really need is the graphic that we're going to see right now. Brazil with a perfect record are in the second round. Colombia in a good place with 2-1. Venezuela with the 1 and 2. Chile 0-4. They're in a hole, but it's not done yet. Have to win their last two games, which is going to be a stretch. But the improvement they've shown over this window gives them every hope. Well, it's been a privilege again. Chile has hosted two great games. Venezuela get the win tonight. They get their first win. Absolute super game of basketball. Hope you've enjoyed it. I know I have. Thanks for watching during these World Cup qualifiers. Bye for now.